On Saturday, Luis Castillo barbecued the Pirates lineup, although the Mariners offense was quieted by the changeup once again. Welcome to the Dom Skiing Channel, your one-stop shop for the Mariners storylines on Seattle's minds. And the Mariners take a 1-0 win over the Pirates, win the series, take the first two of the three-game set, and the third is set here to start. First pitch is in about 21 minutes. So Paul Skeens on the bump. Going to be tough to sweep the Pirates, but we gave ourselves a great chance to take the 5 out of 7 in this homestand that we looked at originally and wanted to take. And this is one of the real anomaly games because Luis Castillo didn't necessarily have his best stuff. You know, the changeup is always the story for him. Is he a 3-pitch pitcher, or does he have that changeup, which is his real money pitch? And you look at, he gets 16 swinging strikes on 99 pitches. Although he only throws the changeup 7 times, does get 2 whiffs on it. So when he did throw it, he did have some success. Then he gets 6 whiffs on the slider. And this is what we saw in his last starts, that even when he doesn't throw the changeup quite as much, the slider is a big presence as one of the main, that's really his main secondary, because he's got his 2 fastballs, the 4-seam and the sinker. But the slider right now is his main off-speed pitch, his main breaking ball, and he got 6 swinging strikes on 23 of those. So did rack up the whiffs on that one. And then 3 on 31 sinkers. That also limited hard contact to a pretty good degree. And against the Pirates lineup, you can get away with a little more. Then the 4-seamer, you get 5 whiffs on 38 of those. So when you look overall at this start for Luis Castillo, 90.2 average exit velocity, the ball was not flying. And was that because both offenses are putrid at hitting breaking balls, and especially sliders, and then the changeups as well, the off speed? Or is this because Luis Castillo and Mike Burrows did such an excellent job last night? And Mike Burrows did a great job on the other side too. He got 11 swinging strikes on 85 pitches. He was not physically imposing on the mound. He walks up there. He's pretty skinny, not too lanky. Only looks about 5'11", 6 foot. And he comes out, gets 11 swinging strikes and 85 pitches. That's a pretty darn good rate, even though it is against the Mariners. He gets 2 swinging strikes on 40 fastballs, but limits the hard contact on that pitch very, very well. Average exit velocity on the fastball, 80.5, minimum 29.4, probably a little chopper in the infield, and then 91.8, the max exit velocity, throwing 40 fastballs to the Mariners, and then having the Mariners only never hit one of those 40 fastballs, 92 miles an hour or above. That's an excellent job at throwing the fastball to the Mariners and then not having them hit it, which usually that's what they're sitting on. That's the Dan and Edgar philosophy, get your pitch and don't miss, which means the fastball. One of the best fastball hitting teams in the league, but we do struggle against all those other tertiary pitches, all those other secondaries. So the changeup, he racks up 7 swinging strikes on 21 of those. A third of his changeups were swinging strikes. That is an insane rate. Then 1 on 18 sliders, 1 on 6 curveballs. Really limits the hard contact, 87.1 mile an hour exit velocity. So great swinging strike rate. Limited the hard contact. And Mike Burrows, although he might not be, somebody who stays around for years to come, I'm not sure, what he was like as a prospect. Drafted in the 11th round, number 324 to the Pittsburgh Pirates. In 2018, 6'1", 200 pounds. Yeah, that's about right. He looked like almost 6 foot 180 out there. He's only 25, so he could stay in this league for a long time. And he pitched to a 270 RA and only 3.1 innings last year, but 3.63 RA and 39.2 innings this year. The off speeds are good, which definitely kept the Mariners at bay. So that changeup could be a real pitch, and Mike Burrows could be a real guy moving forward. I have to kind of tip my cap to him because this was a 1-0 game. I mean, all the pitching on both sides did a pretty good job. Caleb Ferguson was the only run of the night allowed, as the Mariners got some guys on base. And I'm keeping that Cal for AL MVP banner up above the game number, game 89 in this one, because although Cal only registers 1 at-bat, doesn't get a hit in it, and strikes out actually in his only at-bat, his plate appearances, he had 4, of course, batting third in the lineup. He's going to get up to the plate. And they intentionally walk him once and then walk him 2 other times. So 3 walks for Cal. that OPS is just getting inflated as the days go by. 1,029 right now for Cal on the OPS, still batting 270, but they do not want to pitch to him right now, and that was probably a good choice. Then you look at, Julio also not getting a hit. There's been some talk I've heard from really fans mostly about moving Julio down in the order. I don't see the benefit of it. The first two reasons, which are the obvious reasons, are the fact that he hits the ball harder than anybody and is faster than anybody. So in terms of just pure power and speed, he is the best power speed guy. And then the third reason, which is a little more controversial, depending on your take about, the batting average conundrum that the Mariners faced going into this year and during this whole season, is I have no reason to believe that anybody below Julio in the order is going to have a higher batting average than him in the next week or for the rest of the season. I think Julio, we've seen him come on so hard in the second half. Remember when that Royals series in Kauffman Stadium, he comes out and goes like 4 for 4, 4 for 4, 4 for 5 or something. He ended up with the most hits in 3 days of anybody since like Ted Williams. And he got insanely hot. I think he finished third in the MVP voting that year after having almost a terrible 3 quarters to the season up to that point. So whether, Julio is batting well right now or not, and obviously he's not, the book is out on him that, you throw those sliders down and away, he struggles with those, and then you throw those fastballs up and in, and he's really long and lanky and is not great at getting on those inside pitches. Doesn't keep his bat through the zone incredibly long. But then again, obviously, when he does put the ball in play, hits it harder than anybody, and he runs faster than anybody. Then you got, Randy batting cleanup, I think is essential because I think he provides Cal the necessary protection. He's the most unselfish member of this team, and although he goes 0 for 4 with golden sombrero, 4 strikeouts, he's still batting 248, 793 OPS. And although his batting average has been not there for most of the season, even the homers have been really streaky. Obviously, this week he had a great series against the Royals. But then, the strikeouts, just all, he might strike out 4 times in a game, but he also is a threat to lead the AL in walks this year, as is JP at the top of the order, who we'll talk about. He obviously had the best giveaway of the season, this jersey, which I'll talk about in a second. But on the Randy topic, I think that batting him 4 provides Cal so much protection because if, when Cal comes up, they walk him. Randy is he is so good at walking this year. So I think he provides so much protection to these guys. I think moving him up to 2, moving Julio down to 4 or whatever the plan is, I'm just not sure that it works. I don't think that taking pressure off of Julio per se, moving him down in the order, would really effectively do that. Anyway, moving, Jorge does get a hits a double in this one. Although he's been really ripping the ball down the line, he hasn't been doing that contact approach that I talked about at the beginning of the season, really wanting him to focus on getting back to his 2019 Minnesota ways. He was doing it with power in April, and through, when he was hot through the beginning of May too. But then recently, he's gotten really, really jerky with his swing, and he's really timing it up, pulling it down the line. But I would love to see him go for that more contact approach, keep his bat in the zone longer, which is something that Cal has done an excellent job of. And then the power just comes with, excellent swings of the bat. Luke Raley does get a hit in this one too. Good to see that. Then Canzone gets a hit before getting pitch hit for by Solano. Still some good batting averages for those platoon guys. It's not looking so terrible right now. Then Ben Williamson gets hit the lone RBI of the game. Hits an RBI hustle double. Ben Williamson, you can't thank him enough for what he's doing at the bottom of the order. He is a perfect bottom of the order bat, and he's still so young, under club control. He could just be a great third baseman for us for years to come. And it could be kind of the bright side to come out of the fact that we haven't invested so long-term in a third baseman. And then Cole Young, similar kind of story. His batting average is really going up and down because he's having some really good games, having a few bad ones as well. His batting average is down to 230 after he goes 0 for 2 in this one. OPS still at 541. But again, the approach at the plate looks good. He's timing things well, and he's not so dedicated to, he's not selling out for one field approach. he looks like a more experienced left-handed hitter, and than most rookies that come up. I don't think this is a case of. I don't think this is one of those cases like a Nick Franklin or a Brad Miller where he impacts the game a ton, but then the batting average is going to be terrible for a while as a Mariner before he gets shipped off and does decent things in the rest of the league. Anyway, the pitching lines: Mike Burrows, no earned runs, 5 shutout innings, allowing only 3 hits, 6 strikeouts to 4 walks, and those 4 walks were so key. Cal, just walking 3 times. The only other walks we had, Julio 1 time and JP 1 time in this game. And those were the base runners we needed in a night where hitting was so hard to come by. Obviously, we only had 5 to their 2, and then the expected batting average, we had 164 and won the game, while they had 193. Still 30 points higher, 29 points higher than us, and lost. Anyway, this other game is about to start soon, so I don't want to go too long on this one. I want to get this up before you guys see this Skeens pitch. Anyway, Matt Brash goes an inning, dominant, looks great. Does walk a guy, but also strikes out 17 pitches. That ERA still sterling at 4.7. And then Munoz, this was just comical. Being at the game, it was awesome to see Munoz strike out those 2 guys, and it was just, you could see just the, who was it? It was McCutchen. He fooled McCutchen like crazy on a bunch of sliders. It was just, that was one of the coolest things that I saw last night. JP, on his jersey day, gets a double, goes 1 for 3 as well, with a walk, doesn't strike out. Hitting 285, 766 OPS. The hard hit's a little bit hard to come by. Luis get hard hit 8 times in this one. And his pitching line, 7 shutout innings, only 2 hits allowed, 8 strikeouts, no walks. It is the Pirates lineup, so you take it with a little bit of a grain of salt moving forward, but just doing that on 99 pitches, the ERA is still at 3.31, and he doesn't even have his best step. It is encouraging to see because he could take that next step and get that changeup back. He's clearly not completely done with it right now. And it seems to be working when he does use it, even if he's a little bit afraid to put it out there over the plate a ton. Anyway, I really haven't mentioned this Pirates lineup, but credit to you for all the players that you can analyze in this lineup right now. It's really tough because none of them have protection. O'Neal Cruz, terrible batting average, 206, because there's no protection really. Spencer Horwitz does go 2 for 4. Those are the Pirates' only hits of the night. The Mariners 2 hit the Pirates, and Spencer Horwitz, the only hits. Without him, the other 9 Pirates that hit got no hit. Actually, Henry Davis was just a defensive substitution, didn't come up to bat. But anyway, I think that's going to do it for this one. Oh, and I did want to say, the Mariners' offense was completely quieted by the changeup. Burrows racked up the whiffs. Then Ferguson came in, and he was the only Pirate pitcher that did not throw a changeup. Matson came in through 24 pitches, got 4 swinging strikes, 3 on the 24-seam fastballs, but then 1 on 2 changeups. And then the other changeup was extremely low contact, which I think went for an out as well. Then Dennis Santana comes in, throws 5 different pitches, 11 pitches, 1 swing strike on the cutter, but he also throws a changeup in there. Really, the book is out on the Mariners. They also came with Ferguson, Matson, and so Ferguson, Matson, and Santana all came with Ferguson and Santana came with cutters, and really anything slider based, curve based, changeup based the Mariners are struggling with. I wish I knew the solution. If everybody could just keep their bat in the zone like Cal and Polanco at the beginning of the season, it would be great. But we move on. We start this next game in less than 10 minutes, so going to get this up for you guys to watch it. Anyway, I will be back to recap today's game, probably tomorrow, if not tonight. With that being said, I will see you then, and go M's.